All right, so yesterday we discussed 12 points about my experience in sales, how I closed $500,000 worth of customers, which is 3.8 crores in Indian rupees. So we'll discuss the things one by one and we'll move the video forward. And this is the second part of the video. And then we'll cover up how you can build your sales team also. So let's dive into my screen. So treat every lead with respect and dignity. If they don't have money today, don't have 1 hour call with them. Have just 20 minutes of call with them and provide them some value and get them excited. And this has happened a lot, because I have been into this business from 5 years. So there has been some cases like I had the calls with some prospects 3 years back, and these days they are approaching me. At those times, they were not having the website, they were not having the money, but now they have some investments and now they want to work and they turn out to be really good customers. Seriously, so this is a story of one particular customer. We had a call with him 5 years back. Like it was, I think, my 70th or 100th call, sales call. And I had a call with him, and at that time, he didn't have any money. And 2 years back, he approached me again, uh, and we started his work. And today, that brand is one of the biggest e-commerce brands in India. That's how things turn out to be. And one thing that is really important is you need to understand the buyer's journey. You do not need any sales tactics or to improve the tonality and all. Of course, basic tonality is important, right? But that's just 5% of the whole sales thing. You need to understand the buyer's journey, how a person buys. You know about his product, and then you know about his problem actually, and then what you need to know is you make him feel that the big impact of his problem, the problem he's facing, the long-term impact of his big problem, and what are the other factors in his business that is getting affected by that particular problem. And if suppose he solves that particular thing, how will it impact the other things of the business, other things of his life, and how that particular problem is also impacting his personal life, his business life, and you provide the exact solution to him. It's just like a doctor, right? You go to a doctor keeps on asking you, like, when did the problem start? How's the problem going on, and what are the factors that led to the problem? And then he also asks you that what are you facing because of this problem? And same like a doctor, how a doctor do the diagnosis. Find out what's going on in their head. Most calls are fucked up in the beginning, not in the end. Uh, so basically, you need to know that what's going in the person's head. Like people, they start reading out the scripts or they start telling about their product. Of course, scripts are important. Like I also use some scripts, but I do not get stick to it because you need to understand that, every person is different and you need to know what's going on in his head. So you need to just see that what that person is facing exactly at that particular time. So just try to understand that. Be empathetic and always be qualifying. Now, you need to know what is qualifying. Qualifying means prospect is moving himself to the next part of the sales script. The first is talking about each other. The second thing is talking about problem. The third thing is uh, what are the factors, what's the big impact of that problem on his life on his business, and if suppose he solves his problem, how can other things can also improve with it. So You need to make the client, the prospect qualify by himself. He should be moving himself to the next part. Now, sales is all about qualifying, not closing. People try to be closers. They always talk about like I'm the best closer, I'm the best uh, sales guy. And when you look at their sheets, they are closing at around they like around 15%, 20%, or at max 33%. But if you just leave this closing thing and you focus on qualifying and you be more empathetic, that will really boost your closing ratio. My closing ratio was 50% during the past whole 6 months. And the reason for that is I was being more empathetic, I was being more enthusiastic, I was listening to them, I was not using tonality, uh, I was not using some special words, right? And yeah, I mean, just be more empathetic, just uh, understand your prospect, I would say. Just understand his problem. Again, sales is heart to heart conversations. It's not you know, some closing techniques, some special lines that you should be using. Nothing. Sales is just heart to heart conversation. It's just like, you are having a normal conversation with a person. It's suppose like you'll start asking like random questions to a person, or like, you're trying to close him. The other person will know that, this person is wanting to close me desperately, and he will have his guards up. But if you have heart to heart conversation, trying to understand that person, and literally, I never use any closing thing on them. It's just like, if they want to take a decision, but there's something stopping them, then of course I help them. But I just avoid it, and that has helped me a lot. And reviewing calls is more important than practice calls. This thing is really important. Like, of course, practice calls are important. So what I do is I have at least one practice call every day, and this I have been doing from past 5 years. There are some months that I have missed when I'm like on the chill mode, partying and all, but I have mostly been on practice calls every day. And reviewing calls is more important because you get to know about yourself. Your dopamine just drops, and that helps you to improve yourself on the next call. So always be reviewing your calls. Uh, and yeah, like have like review at least all your calls. What did Michael Jordan used to do? Michael Jordan used to watch his footage every night. Tom Brady, he retired, I think, when he was 44 or something, or 45. And a place where people retire at 35, Tom Brady retired at 44. The only reason he retired at 44 was, and the only reason he was able to perform at max, at his best, when he was 44, the reason for that was he used to watch his footage. He used to take every step calculated. So, if you want to improve fast, just review your calls, watch your footage. Every day in the morning in the gym, listen to your favorite sales calls. This is the thing that I have been doing, and uh, plus, I know this. I'm shifting from the video, but what happens is, suppose you listen to the songs in the gym, your dopamine goes way too up, and you do not want to do anything after that because your dopamine is way too high. So you need to maintain the level of your baseline dopamine. So if you listen to your sales calls in the gym, you learn some stuff. Plus, your dopamine will not go too high, and that will help you to maintain discipline, and also it will get you in the flow state to have the calls for today, for the next day. Or And nothing beats honesty on the phone. People try to lie a lot. The people want to just close the sales so desperately that they keep on lying. And what I've seen personally is that, honesty is the best thing when you try to do the sales. Try you can tell them like, this is a client that has not been getting the results, and the reason for that is this thing. And you can also tell them that this is a client that has been getting exceptional results, but you know the main thing is client is doing a lot of hard work. Just tell them honestly. They would want to work with you more because your subconscious tells them whenever you are lying, whenever you are telling the truth. So just be authentic and have your email automation in place with at least 7 to 18 emails. Be in front of your prospects all the time. So this is the thing which I realized very late. You should always have that email automation going on. Uh, you should have this automation for at least 6 months. What I also do is I also have this ad roll running, right? So whenever a prospect visits my website, my ads keep on falling in everywhere he goes. So email automation would be much cheaper, and if you have some money, like I invest like 10,000 to like around 50, how much is it? $150 to $500, $500 on ad roll ads. And these are working really well for me. At least like if you get two or three clients with that, that's enough. Now, sometimes the lead just wants to hear a new voice. Give the sales call to your partner. Now, sometimes what happens is with us. So I'm trying to close a prospect, but he is always having some last minute resistance. So I give the sales call to my co-founder Aditya, and whenever I give him, he tries to get to know the prospect, what's the actual problem he is facing, and then the lead gets closed. So your prospect sometimes just wants to hear a new voice, right? He just need to have two authentic figures. So you can just you know switch the calls, or like give the calls to your co-founder or like sales guy or even some member of your team. Just try that. It works. If the prospect has a real genuine money problem, act as a financer for them, break the payments down. You need to know, like, if suppose your client, your prospect is giving you resistance about the money, that he doesn't have the money. And if you feel that he has real problem of the money and he really wants to work with you, just keep on asking them, like, genuinely try to help him out. Act as a financer for them. This has been there with me. Like I have closed two or three prospects with this. It helps, so just try it. So yeah, these are some of the points that you need to remember. And on the next video, we'll discuss what are some of the points that you need to remember if you're building a sales team. So that's all, guys. Have a good day.